Hi, welcome back to Transition Ministry, Part 2, Sexual Gender in the Beginning. Let me recap what I told you in Part 1, because I love to talk, and my videos are like 15-20 minutes long, and I have to cut it down to 10. In the beginning, we talked about God created men and women equal. They were equal in respect that physically, mentally, they did the same thing, but physically they were different. However, after the fall, or in Genesis 3, there was some sex roles or gender roles that were assigned, not because one was dominant or what the other are submissive. The gender roles were assigned based on the sin and based on the purpose for preserving the race. Women could go out and hunt and fish just like a man could done, but you guys to understand, Adam and Eve were in the garden alone, on the planet alone. If Eve died out, so did the human race. So gender roles was to preserve the human race. And men, over the times and since the beginning of Genesis, took down this basic concept to enslave women in the roles. It is closer we get to the New Testament and closer we get to our society that we yield that men are and women are created equals, and that their roles should be assigned on their capabilities, not on their gender. I have seen men, in roles that were predominantly women: nursing, child care, and cooking. These are predominantly gender roles for women, but men are making headway because men enjoy doing it. Women, on the other hand, enjoy the male roles too. They like to be the breadwinner. They like to work twice as hard as men. I'm for it. That's why I made the decision to be a woman, because I like the role of staying at home, taking care of my family, and being a nurturing person over being aggressive, dominant person. So that's why I am, and that's why I am pointing out in my lesson for this time that men and gender roles are neutral, and it's only men who created that. We also can see in Genesis chapter 4 the division of labor between men. Everybody knows the story about Cain and Abel. Cain was a person who worked the fields. He had the brunt work, he had the toil, labor, and whereas Abel, he was given the more passive role of just watching the fleet. However, the concept of gender role wasn't defined because Cain was jealous and wanted to be like Abel. So he killed him, hoping that would satisfy him, but that didn't satisfy him. In Genesis 4:12, we read, "When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield you its strength. You shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on earth, and perpetual exile and degraded outcast." And we skip down to 14, it says, "But you have driven me out of this day to the face of the land, and from you, your face, I will be hidden. I will be a fugitive and a vagabond and a wanderer on earth, and whoever finds me kills me." Now, see, this is another gender stereotype. We believe that Cain and Abel were the only two offsprings of Eve. But where did these other people came if he was a fair? Women were given the subdominant role and cast as unimportant, so they were not classified. Adam and Eve could have daughters. Cain and Abel could have married those daughters and had other offspring. But you got to understand, only the righteous people in the Bible were given the honor of having their names put in the book. I believe that gender plays an important role, and that it's assigned not by God, but by man. to control the women to perpetuate the human race. That is the only reason why gender was assigned in the beginning. Now that men and women are equal, men should be able to dress themselves any way they want, to act the way they want, but society doesn't dictate it. We either have to put on a false face or we have to go against the grain. What is wrong with men wearing a dress, being a child care, being a chef, being a cook? These are perfectly acceptable gender roles for both sexes. Women, they're tomboys. They can either be totally feminine or totally masculine or somewhere in between. I think this is unfair, and I just pointed this out in the scriptures. I want to go more in depth in this field, but I'm running out of time. I'm getting kind of hoarse because this is like the 6th take I made for part 2, and I want to be succinct. But I want to point out that gender roles is assigned in the Bible, not by God and by man. I would further like you to support this ministry in any way that you can help, because I believe that every transgender, gay, lesbian, bisexual, transsexual needs some spiritual support, and that we can give them together by working together and coming together and get rid of the misconceptions. Check me out on MySpace. My name is HEBEANLY. My name on MySpace is HEBEANLYBODY. Heavenly Body. Please check me out and support me. If you have any topics that you want to discuss, please feel free to write me. If you want to donate your money, fine, I will take it. And I'll invest it in ministry to promote a site that teaches the spiritual side of being a transgender, gay, lesbian, or bisexual person. Also, if you want to devote your time by developing a website for me, I'd be gladly welcome that, and I will give you total control as long as I get some of my input in and help design it. I don't know much about designing computers, but there's some things I would like to have included, and you have total artistic freedom to do anything else. So this is it, and if you have any topics, let me know, either by YouTube or MySpace. I'd be more interested in helping. I hope this is less than 10 minutes because I'm getting tired of making the video. But I enjoy talking, and I want you to take my videos, my websites, and everything that I put on the web and make it part of your life. Because a 1,000-mile journey begins with the first step. And I want to help you in that step to reach your goal, not only as a person of gender, but as a person who fulfills their full life potential.